Hi, welcome to Nerdy West Coast Swing. Alicia and I are taking a short break from our live shows and we'll be back September 3rd with an episode on push brakes. In the meantime though, we thought it would be fun to share with you what we get up to over on our Patreon. Every week in our Patreon, we share a different video to help our students improve their dancing, learn faster, and train their eyes. Weeks 1 and 2 every month are topic specific, and that's what we're going to be sharing with you this week and next week. And our topic is going to be balance. For reference, weeks 3 and 4 on our Patreon are very similar to our free live episodes that you see here on our YouTube channel. They're just much more targeted and specific based on the topic of the month. So that way we save our students time. So if you're interested in our Patreon after watching this video, go to patreon.com/NERDYWCS to learn more or to sign up. In the meantime, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a future episode. We publish episodes every Sunday at noon Pacific. Now over to Alicia with the first part of week 1 of balance.
So today we're going to be talking about balance. Before we do that, we need to make sure we're all on the same page, so let's talk about our working definition. Balance is the act of distributing your weight evenly across your line of gravity. When discussing balance with other dancers, there's things you'll hear again and again. Some of those include grounding and counterbalance. Grounding differs from balance in a few ways, but the main difference is that with grounding, you're focusing your energy and your weight downwards, whereas balance can happen in any direction. And many times, grounding can be a very helpful element used to increase balance. Now, counterbalance is an equal and opposite reaction to the amount of weight on the other end of the partnership. You create counterbalance by mirroring the same amount of weight that you feel on the other end from your partner. This helps create a balance within the partnership, so neither person is falling over or overpowering the other. So basically, this is balance when being acted on by an outside force, which in this case is your partner. Like most things, having good balance requires multiple elements to work together. Let's talk through those elements. The first thing is your center. Being aware of where your center is at is a crucial element when it comes to balance. We've talked pretty in depth about your center on our Patreon, but for now, think of it as a ball located in the center of the circumference of your body, about 2 inches or so below your belly button. And this is where the majority of the mass of your body lies. For good balance, you must be aware of your center. The next thing is your line of gravity. The line of gravity runs down the middle of our body from head to toe and goes straight down through your center. When we're trying to keep ourselves balanced, we want to keep an equal amount of body mass on each side of the line of gravity. The third thing is weight distribution. This is when we intentionally manipulate how much body mass is in a specific place at a specific time. So this could be the amount of mass over each foot, the amount on each side of the line of gravity, and or the amount over our toes or our heels. But here we're mainly talking about weight distribution across the line of gravity. Now I'm going to send you back over to Cassie.
Thanks, Alicia. Now that we have a better understanding of these more conceptual parts of our common definition, we can move forward and talk about some common misconceptions about balance. Misconception 1. Balance is not one and done. You may have heard the phrase, find your balance, or something similar before. The phrase almost sounds like someone is implying that there are only certain moments where you need to have balance, and you can just forget about it the rest of the time. Actually though, balance is ongoing. This means that we should be searching for balance at every point in our dancing, not just here and there. Misconception number 2. Balance only happens when you're on one foot. Balance tends to be talked about, mainly in regards to standing on one foot. We tend to forget about balance when we have both feet solidly on the ground, because that comes second nature to us. Our body balances on autopilot. However, once we add in external forces, such as partners, it becomes crucial for us to search for our balance, even when we have 2 feet on the floor. Shifting of mass can happen so quickly during a dance that we need to be prepared to adjust by starting movement from a balanced position. All that being said, balance is a wonderful and important tool to keep in your mental toolbox and to use at specific times. Let's address the main uses for balance, which are control and stability, shaping, and turns. Control is the ability to manipulate your body mass, and stability is the ability to recover when you lose your balance. Balance is a prerequisite for both of these things. To increase control, you must start in a balanced position, and that allows you to maintain balance throughout the rest of your movement. With stability, you must start from a balanced stance, so there is a point to return to when you do lose your balance. If there are additional external forces from a partner when you are already unbalanced, it becomes extremely hard to find balance again, and that's when people fall. Shaping is another use for balance. When you're creating shapes with your body, you must pay attention to not only where your center is, but also to how much mass is on either side of your line of gravity. It needs to stay as equal as possible. And because of the nature of shaping, you have no choice but to manipulate weight distribution across your line of gravity in order to stay upright. This means, for example, that if I move my right arm to the left side of my body, I need to move some of the weight that was on the left side already and shift it to the right side to keep things equal. That would look something like sticking your hips out to the right side, for example. Balance is also an important element in turning. No matter what kind of turn you're doing, your body is rotating around one point of contact where your foot is touching the floor. Even if you have 2 feet touching the floor while you're rotating, your weight will most likely be subtly shifting from one foot to the other, and so will your main point of contact with the floor. So, to stay in control and continue to rotate around one point, you must make sure to either keep the majority of your body mass directly over the point of contact with the floor, or have your weight evenly distributed around it. If you aren't keeping your body over the point of contact, you must distribute your weight evenly, not only across your line of gravity, but it must also be equal in front of and behind that point. So now, as we come to a close here, let's review our main points. 1. Balance is the act of distributing your weight evenly across your line of gravity. And 2, you should be constantly searching for balance. It's not one and done. And that's all for this week. Again, this was just a sneak peek at what we get up to over on Patreon. We chose a simpler topic to do these teaser videos for our free YouTube channel. Just to give you a taste, we tend to dive into much more nuanced and complex topics over on Patreon. For example, this month we're doing a deep dive into resisted release. It has been really fun and amazing to get super nerdy about that topic with our Patreon students. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please hit subscribe and click the notification bell. So next week, when we share our week 2 video, teaser on balance, you'll get to watch it right away and learn some really helpful exercises that you can practice at home on your own without a partner to improve your balance going forward. Thank you again for watching. We'll be back next week with Balance Week 2, and then the following week with another live Nerdy West Coast Swing episode on push brakes. See you then. Bye.